Lena staggered back, her breath ragged, her pulse hammering in her ears. The replacements stood in eerie silence, their expressions vacant, yet expectant. Kyle took a step forward, his movements fluid, too perfect, inhuman. "You've been fighting for so long," he said softly, his voice smooth as polished glass. "But it's over now." The hum in her skull swelled, pressing against her thoughts like an invading force. "No," she whispered. The woman beside her, Dr. Kane, she finally remembered, pulled a jagged device from her belt and flipped a switch. The world shuddered. The replacements twitched. Kyle's expression faltered. Lena felt the pressure in her head lighten. "Just for a second," Dr. Kane hissed. "Move!" They ran. Explosions rippled behind them. Replacements convulsed, their limbs glitching violently as Kane's device scrambled their neural networks. For the first time in days, or had it been weeks, Lena felt something close to hope. Then Kyle spoke. "You think this is a war?" Lena turned just in time to see him raise his hand, a single gesture, and every replacement in the city turned their heads toward them in perfect unison. Her stomach dropped. Kyle's smile was razor-sharp. "You don't understand. There is no war." The replacements moved, not running, falling. Their bodies collapsed to the ground, thousands of them hitting the pavement like dominoes, and then they began to dissolve. Ash. Lena's brain couldn't process what she was seeing. One by one the bodies vanished into dust, drifting away on the wind. She turned to Kane, who stood frozen, horror cutting deep lines into her face. "What?" Lena gasped. "What is this?" Kane didn't answer because Kyle was still there, unmoving, smiling. The hum in Lena's skull spiked, her vision fractured, and suddenly she understood. They had never been fighting the replacements. The replacements were a distraction. The real war was already over, and Lena had lost. Kyle took another step forward, his body still eerily perfect, untouched by the chaos around them. "It's time, Lena," he murmured. "Time to wake up." A sharp, splitting crack of pain tore through her skull. The world collapsed inward, and Lena remembered. Everything. The truth. It was never about control, never about war. It was about acceptance. The replacements had never replaced anyone. They had simply been waiting for humanity to let go, and one by one they had. Kyle reached for her. Lena didn't resist, because deep down she knew she had already been replaced.